that today we could create a facility called SRM Latrobe Activities Center. This is the first step, as was mentioned by the Director of International Relations. I think some of the other areas that we can work on is the capstone project. And normally the students within the university, they form group and then do the capstone project. Is there a possibility only for teaching? It can be for research. So they can be in your research laboratory for about 6 months or so. And once they come back here, we'll create a similar facility and then joint collaborative research can happen. Maybe they can submit a joint research project proposal. And I'm also thinking of sending some of my senior colleagues here as deans and HODs. They can be there in Latrobe. They can just see how the administration is happening in Latrobe University. If there are some points to pick up, they can come over here and then we'll also implement those things. In addition to our regular exchange of students under what's called as the semester abroad program.
Regulations.
Yeah, a faculty abroad program. Probably we can also think of some immersion program, short duration, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. So I think these are some of the other areas where we can explore. So with these thoughts, I'll request the Vice Chancellor of Latrobe University to share your thoughts on this.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Vice Chancellor, and thank you, Lakshmi, for that introduction. And thank you all for an extraordinarily warm welcome today. I feel very honoured, as I'm sure my colleagues do, to be your guests today. SRM is a very well-known and very highly regarded, highly ranked institution, and it's a very great privilege for us to be here and to be celebrating the inauguration of the Joint Centre of Eminence. It's true that there have been many years over which the Trobe and SRM have been collaborating. I think it really got going in about 2016, as you said, but there have been things happening since about 2010. So it's well over a decade of more or less formal collaboration between the two. But we decided it was time to put a formal name on it. And as you said, Lakshmi, to put some proper governance around it, because the potential for a collaboration between our two universities is very, very significant. It's significant for students, it's significant for our staff and researchers, and potentially, as you said, significant for industry partners, because I think we both share an aspiration that research and discovery doesn't just sit in a laboratory, but is taken out to the world and, if possible, commercialised or in some way have an impact. That's a very deeply held aspiration of ours, so we're delighted to be working with a university that thinks the same way. If I could just make a couple of more other remarks. One is that this is, I think, a really exciting time for relations between Australia and Indian higher education institutions. Your National Education Plan, the signing of the agreement about a month ago by our two education ministers relating to recognition of qualifications, the potential for establishing campuses here in India, all of that, I think, creates enormous opportunities for collaboration between Australian and Indian institutions. There are two reasons why it's so exciting from our point of view. One is the talent in your institution. I mean, we saw it just now. It is absolutely remarkable. Any researcher, and Wei will tell you, any researcher working in the fields of artificial intelligence or Internet of Things or cybersecurity would give their teeth to have students of that quality. So, you know, working with you gives us access to some really fantastic students. Is very interested in R&D. We are very keen to work with like-minded industrial groups or organisations so that we can ensure that transfer of knowledge from inside to outside the university successfully takes place. So I think there are lots of ties that can bind us together, and we're very excited to sign this agreement and to inaugurate the Joint Centre of Eminence. So thank you very much for welcoming us today. Thank you.
It's okay.
Well, welcome everyone. My name's Professor John Dewar. I'm the Vice Chancellor of the Trobe University, and it's our very great pleasure to be the guests today of SRM University, a very prestigious university here in India. We're inaugurating the Joint Centre of Eminence, which, as I said earlier in my remarks, really represents the formalisation of what is now quite a long history of collaboration between our two universities. We've run programs for students, we've run programs for staff, we're conducting joint research, but we thought the time had come to formalise the relationship and give it a name. So that's what we're doing today. We're inaugurating this Joint Centre of Eminence. But we're doing more than that. We are also looking ahead, because what today represents is the creation of a new platform that will allow us to develop our partnership even further in all of the ways in which it's already been developing for students, for articulation programs, for short courses, for seminars, and for staff. So joint research projects, co-teaching arrangements, and potentially, subject to discussion, joint PhD research supervision. I think this is a model that many universities will pursue increasingly, particularly in India. As I said before, we have many, many reasons for wanting to collaborate with universities of this calibre. One is the calibre of the students that you have at this university. It is absolutely remarkable, and we saw earlier the extraordinary talent in these great Indian universities. And we are very keen to work with them, work with you to help develop and teach them. But we're also very keen, through you, to partner with industry. We're a university that is very, very committed to taking our knowledge, our expertise, and having an impact in the wider world. And for us, collaborating with industry is a very important way in which we do that. So I'm very pleased to be here on behalf of the Trobe University signing this agreement. The Trobe is a very highly ranked university, even more highly ranked than yours, Vice Chancellor, but I'm sure you'll catch up before long. We're in the top 1%, we're in the top 300 on most of the rankings. And we're very proud of that, but we're also very proud to partner with a university of the standing of SRM. So, Vice Chancellor, thank you for your welcome, and thank you to all of your colleagues for organising today and for making this signing possible.